So this is going to be episode 3. Episode 3, I think we talked about my son last episode. I think we're going to talk about my daughter. My daughter just turned 21 a little over 2 weeks ago. She's a junior in college. She does really well. She is on academic scholarship and athletic scholarship, so she's a stud, man. She's a star. She's always succeeded in everything she's ever tried to do. That's just who she is. She's determined. When she was little, she was somewhere between 6 months to 9 months old, and I say like I take credit for it. She was up and walking at like 6 months. By 9 months, she was running around the house. And my wife blames me for that. Literally blames me for that. Says that I was forcing her, but whatever. Then by the time she was 3 years old, she was up and running at the track with me. We'd go run a mile around the track, like a local high school track. We'd go and just run 4 laps. I was training myself, trying to stay healthy and active, and she would go with me. And she, like I said, I don't know what time. I want to say it's probably like 12 minutes it would take her to run a mile. But she would wear herself out, man. We'd go to the track, and we'd run a lap, and she would just be dog tired afterwards. Like, she took it seriously. The compensation was, hey, if you do your best, if you do really well out here, we'll go to McDonald's and I'll get you a Happy Meal. So now, whether she was out there busting her tail and doing that for the Happy Meal, or she was doing that because she wanted to please and make me happy, that's up for debate, I suppose. But she was always done well. She's always tried her best. She's always been successful, and she's always been the one that wanted to do. She's daddy's girl, right? She is. She always has been. And up until the time it started to change in high school, a little bit veered. I mean, we were still very, very close, very, very tight. She was still my little girl. And sophomore, we'll call it junior year, kind of started to veer away, so not veer away, but the connection that we had changed a little bit, right? It changed a little bit, and I think it has to. She wasn't all about doing what Dad wants and making sure she's following my desires and what, for her. It changed. She started to grow up and become her own person. She got a boyfriend, and she had a couple boyfriends before that, but nothing serious. But that's when she got her boyfriend, and she's had that boyfriend now for like 4 years. So she is away at college. She just actually was on spring break here recently and just left to go back to college. When she's home, she hangs out with him for the most part. So if you're a dad out there and you got that little girl who grows up and now she doesn't have time for you, right? That's not a fair statement. She still loves me, and I still love her very, very much, more than she will ever know. But she's changed, right? She's changed, and she's not a little kid anymore who relies on me. She's not that little kid who needs my approval, who needs, me to tell her good job. And she's her own person, and I'm proud of that. That's what you want as a parent, right? Part of me wants her to live with me for the next 40 years of her life, but that's not that's not a well-adapted individual, right? You want them to grow up and do their own thing and have their own life and chase their own dreams and fail, succeed, be angry, be happy, be loving and caring, and experience all the wonders and joys that life has to offer. That's what you want, and that's what she's doing, and I'm very, very proud of that. But part of me wishes she was still that 8 to 10-year-old little girl that I miss, that I used to take to gymnastics competitions and soccer matches, and taught her how to play tennis. What else? Track and field. She started track and field, and the triple jump, long jump, high jump. She's a sprinter. God, she's fast. But life is ever evolving and ever changing, and that's just the way it is. So it's part of life, man, in all honesty, I should just sit here and be thankful that I got to experience that, right? Let's be honest. Not everybody gets that. Not everybody gets that little girl who's just amazing and beautiful and just so, I don't know. There's not words in the English language that I can have to describe that. Not everybody gets that, so I should just be thankful for it, even though that is, I don't want to say over. That time is adapted, right? We've adapted, we've changed. It's not the same dynamic. It's not the same relationship. The same love is still there and will always be there. But I guess maybe it's just expressed differently. Yeah. So she was home for spring break. She was home for a week. She comes home on all her breaks. She came home for a week. Spent a lot of time with a boyfriend. Spent a little bit of time here. We got to talk a little bit, and hang out a little bit. And maybe that's all it needs to be. I would like more of her time, but I know realistically I understand. I'm sure I did the same thing to my parents. So we just have to. I don't know, man. I go back and forth with it. I want her here. But I also know she's doing is what she wants to do, and it makes her happy. And as long as, hey man, Sheryl Crow said, if it makes you happy, can't be that bad, right? As long as she's happy and healthy and doing what she wants, I have to be supportive of that. That's my little girl. She is my little princess. So I'm coping with that. Now, summer's coming up. She's got like 2 months until summer starts. She comes home for summer. And we usually get to spend a decent amount of time together, a lot of time with her boyfriend. But she spends more time with me and her mom and the rest of the family here. But this summer, she's applying for internships for college, and that she's talking about she might not be able to come home for summer, and that would suck for me. That'd be great for her, I'm sure. It'll suck for me because my wife is in school. She's going for the pharmacy technician. Sorry about that. She's trying to be a pharmacy tech. My son will be in the Marines, and then my daughter will be off, and it's kind of like, is it because I'm the only one not moving forward? That just hit me. I don't know. I hope not. I hope it's not a thing. I hope it's just pure fear of boredom and lack of the people that I love to be around. So, That's interesting. Literally just hit me in the face. They've all got something going on, and I don't really. I have to think about that. I tell you what, that'll be episode 4 maybe, if I can process that and figure it out. Yeah, didn't expect that. Well, that's pretty much the quick and easy on my daughter. She's the oldest. I think I mentioned that. So for now, ta-ta. We'll be back with episode 4.